welcome back to my channel. I am your favorite mother of three, Bougie Vintage, and today's video is a life update. And y'all already know I'm the queen of the tube tops. I am not naked. I'm not naked. I got on my cheetah girl top. Okay, but I'm gonna zoom into the visage just a bit so that we can see what she's doing with her face. This video is probably gonna run a little long because I am giving you a whole update on my life and my first year in Jamaica. The date is April 1st. Tell you guys about my experience living in Jamaica for a whole year now because it's been a wild one. Oh, I heard you were a wild one. Okay, girl, it's been wild. It's been so wild, but so fun. And like, I've learned so much. And so I just want to educate you. I don't know if you're about to move to a new country, girl, but child, it's a lot. Some things I was ready for, some things I was not. And so there's no real rhyme or reason for this video. So I'm just going to tell you guys some of my experiences thus far. You know, I never really had time to prepare properly for relocating as far as I relocated to. Like, I never had a chance to like mentally prepare, because I didn't know that I was moving so damn far. So obviously there's a lot of things I would have done differently had I had time to prepare, but because I didn't, I made a few mistakes. And I would say one of the biggest mistakes I made was thinking that I needed to send all the food barrels that I sent down, because realistically I'm able to get the majority of my needs right here on the island. Granted, it may be a little bit more expensive to do so because almost everything is imported if it's not sourced locally. Like, obviously you're not gonna, buy imported okra, right? Something like strawberries, for instance, is something that's always priced very high, in my opinion. What I pay back home for strawberries, especially out of strawberry season, is not even remotely close to what I pay here for strawberry. And so obviously I could have never have shipped strawberries, but there were definitely non-perishables that I shipped that I later realized I could have used that barrel to ship clothes or something else that I might have needed. In February, I had come to Jamaica to find us a place to stay, a place to live. And so when I came in February, I realized that I wouldn't need all of the things that I had already started to pack in my barrels, because I started packing the barrels before I even had a place, because it was very much a God thing. Like, he was just like, you're leaving. And I was like, okay, but where am I going? He revealed things to me as the time went on. If I had known first where I was going, then I probably wouldn't have done things backwards. So I was packing first in preparation to move, because I was actually just packing to move in my town. I was trying to find a smaller house in Stittsville. And so originally that's what I started packing, but then I quickly realized that that was not going to be the case. So I started packing a little differently, and we started buying barrels. At that point, I would say by the time I took my first trip to find a property, I would say that we had probably packed up half of the barrels. When I got back from my trip where I found the property, and I had that 2-week experience in Jamaica, like grocery shopping and seeing Jamaica and seeing everything, like, I realized, oh, we didn't even really need to pack all this food. Like, I thought I was going to this, I don't know where I thought I was going, baby. All I knew was that from my childhood experience, that this was a place where you needed people to send you stuff, right? It was like an impoverished place or a third world country, so I'm thinking, okay, I gotta get my stuff together. I gotta make sure I have everything I need, because I got 3 kids, right? I can't just be out here and can't get what they like, especially at the grocery store or wherever, which is, partially true. There are certain items that I just cannot find on the island at all, and I have to order them or have them shipped in via a barrel. But most of the things you can find. I might not be so finicky or picky, but my kids definitely are. So when we first got to the island, the barrels didn't arrive when we arrived. I shipped off my barrels before we left Canada, but they were very late coming. So when my barrels finally got here, I had what my kids needed. Because the barrels were taking so long, I ended up having to order stuff on Amazon because I was trying to give my kids Kraft dinner and they were like, yeah, no. They were like, we don't eat that. That is poor people food. No, they didn't say that, obviously. But they're like, we're not eating that. They were disgusted with the Kraft dinner. And I didn't blame them because I know Kraft dinner is nasty. If you don't know what Kraft dinner is, it's just KD, macaroni and cheese, right? But my kids like Annie's organic, right? They're very much, that's what they were eating in Canada. And so they started to ask me, is this the same one from Canada? When I would make it, once Annie's arrived and I started cooking it, they're like, is this the same one from Canada? Or they wouldn't eat it. They had to literally ask me before I made it. And then I was like, yes, I will not feed you the Kraft dinner anymore, because they were not eating it. Like, it was literally a waste of money. I tried to feed them the Kraft dinner. I even bought the unicorn one because they picked it out in the grocery store. And after that, they were like, yeah, no, we're not eating this. It's disgusting. They also were struggling, and I struggled too, to eat the pasta that they sell on the island, because I bought pasta. I can't remember what brand it was, but I purchased some pasta to make like just plain noodles for them. It was disgusting. I said, oh no, we need some Italians up in here. We need the Italians to come immediately to the island and make some pasta noodles, because these are disgusting. And so that was another thing that I was like, yeah, I don't like the way they cook, and they're just gross. So that's something else I have to either order on Amazon, or I just have to source the ones that I would buy back home, like the brands that I would buy back home, because they don't sell Ital pasta here, okay? You know, little things like that I still have to order online, but the majority of items I don't have to order online. And so other things we just found alternatives of. Like, you know, I'm a turkey bacon girl. I like Butterball brand turkey bacon, and that's what I would buy back home. But once I got here and I bought that same brand, I said, this is salty. Oh my gosh. If I was a snail, I would have died. Like, it was so salty. I'm like, what is this? But they sell one that I haven't seen in Canada, which is thin and crispy. Or maybe they do sell it, but I haven't seen it in Canada. And I bought that one, and it's so much better. And so it's still Butterball, but it's the thin and crispy version. And that one works for me, whereas the original does not. One item that we have searched high and low to no avail and cannot get is smoked cheese. Now, Balderson smoked cheese is a Canadian brand. Listen, the smoked cheddar cheese from Balderson is amazing. If you are coming to the island, bring me some, please, okay? So what happened was we couldn't find it anywhere, nowhere, and obviously that is not an item. It's cheese. I can't order it on Amazon because they have it on Amazon, but I can't order cheese on Amazon. Okay, it's not gonna be right once it gets here. I'm not gonna order cheese on Amazon. By the time it gets here, it's gonna give us a run belly, and we don't have time for that. When I had a visitor coming, I sent her the money and I told her, you go to your Loblaws and you bring me cheese. Okay, go to the Loblaws and bring me cheese, please. And she did. And so once she brought the cheese, she put it in her carry-on and she brought us the cheese, and we froze it so that we could eat our omelet, because the omelet just does not hit the same with just cheddar cheese. And so we really couldn't find any brand of smoked cheese here, which I thought was interesting. So, you know, there's certain things that we've learned to kind of live without until somebody can literally bring it for us on an airplane, okay? Because obviously that's not something I can order in Canada and America. You already know with Amazon, baby, you're getting next day delivery. It ain't going down like that here. Apparently they're starting to implement it, but I have not experienced this next day delivery, same day. Amazon needs a Jamaica warehouse. I don't understand how they don't have one in Jamaica. I was also thinking that Jamaica needs a Walmart. Oh baby, I would be there daily. But I think because of Jamaica's, you know, cash society, the locals depend a lot on the people. A Walmart wouldn't really necessarily be the greatest idea. Maybe one Walmart in like a tourist area I think would be great, because it would be nice to be able to go to a Walmart every once in a while. But especially because I feel like there's nothing really like a Walmart here, and Walmart was one of my favorite places to go when I lived in Canada. And so I do sometimes miss just, you know, hopping in my car and going to Walmart. But also saving money, because you know if you go into Walmart or Target, you're gonna spend an arm and a damn leg. You went in there for one item, you're leaving with about 15. Okay, so yeah, and 15 is me being generous, because it's more closer to like 25, 30 items when you only went to Walmart for toilet paper. Like, so you know, it's a good thing that there is no Walmart here, but at the same time, I feel like Jamaica needs that kind of development. They need stores like that here because it is a developing country, period. Jamaica is definitely not the same place it was when I was a child at all. Like, everything looks different. Down to my grandmama's house, baby. Everything looks differente, okay? Even though they don't have Walmart, they do have what I call Costco, which is Price Smart. And so Price Smart is the same concept as Costco. They carry a lot of the same items that Costco has, whether that's Kirkland or Member Selection. And so Price Smart is not only in Jamaica, Price Smart is throughout the Caribbean, but also I think there's one or two still left in America where it originated. If you're American, you probably heard of it. If you're Canadian, you're probably like, Price Smart, what the hell is that? It's Costco. And so I love Costco or Price Smart because yes, you might, some things are a little bit more pricey, but like I go for my bulk items and certain items that I'm just not gonna buy at the regular grocery store, because what I realize is a lot of the grocery stores buy their stuff at the damn Price Smart and then sell it for more. So there's certain items that I only buy at Price Smart, and then there's other items that I buy at the grocery store. And apparently I'm raising teenage boys because my kids be eating like they don't have no damn sense. And so it gets expensive when we talk about food. Grocery shopping, I spend a lot of money at the grocery store, which in Canada I also spent a lot at the grocery store, but I also was able to get everything I wanted when I went grocery shopping, whereas here it's not like that. If something is out of season, baby, you not getting it, okay? So like, for instance, I used to buy avocados by the boatload when I lived in Canada. Do you think I could get avocados? I got one pack of Mexican avocados, okay, because I prefer Mexican avocados. When it's pear season, or when it was pear season last year, pear is avocado. In Jamaica, you know, there was lots of avocados everywhere, but it took us so long to find one that was the perfect ripeness and like tasted amazing, and I wanted to eat it. A lot of them were too watery or like dry, too dry. Like, girl, it was a mess. So I really struggled to find, you know, avocado. And so maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, no, I think it's a month ago, because it was while my homegirl was in town, I bought one pack, and I realized I should have bought 2 or 3 damn packs of avocado, because I ate all the damn avocados and they were so good and they were Mexican. And then I went back to Price Smart maybe 3 weeks later thinking I was going to be able to make this avocado salad. Girl, was there avocados at Price Smart? Absolutely not. And I was pissed because I'm like, I really, really wanted avocados. Like, I really, really did. But I didn't get any. I wasn't so fortunate that second time I went to go get them. That's something I also have had to adjust to. The fact that you might not get what you want at the grocery store and you will leave disappointed. So don't go there with any expectations, okay? Don't go to your local grocery store with expectations. Because I don't know why it never dawned on me that mango season was going to end, but it did. And then you are lucky, because you'll see, okay, you'll be walking down the street and you will see mangoes growing off trees in somebody's yard, but you're not gonna pick it. Like, you can't just pick somebody's mango. Maybe if you knock on their door and ask them, they might say, yeah, go ahead, right? But I'm not gonna go picking nobody's mango and get shot. I'm not doing it. I'm not. So I didn't realize mango season was gonna end, because when I was a kid and somebody was going to Jamaica, my mom always had them bring back mangoes for her. And so I'm not paying attention back then to when people are, you know, gone on their little vacation, but apparently they were only going during mango season. So they would always, or my grandma would come back home from Jamaica with mangoes for my mom. Lots of mangoes, okay? And my mama she would wrap it in newspaper and put it under her bed, because they might not even be ripe, right? I did not know that there was seasons for everything. That those seasons ended, because when it was summertime last year, well, it's always summer, hey, but like when it was summertime last year and I wanted me a number 11 mango, baby, I was gonna buy about 24 mangoes and eat them like I had no damn sense. I think I was on live eating mangoes. Like, it was a serious thing. And then all of a sudden it was a drought. You couldn't get a mango at the grocery store. You couldn't get a mango from the guy at the market. There was just no mangoes left. And I was like, huh? I thought that Jamaica had mangoes all year round. What? Jamaica is known for mangoes. Where are the mangoes? So that was a real shock to me, even though it shouldn't have been. But like, I'm still learning. This is why people plant their trees, because there's some trees that will bear fruit all year round, right? And so there's so many different types of mangoes, and so some will bear all year round, whereas others will only bear during the season. And so that's why I'm saying, like, you could walk past somebody's house and you'll see what you call a common mango, which is the most common mango, obviously. But like, the mango that I like, the number 11, baby, you're only gonna get it when you get it. And you're lucky if you get it, okay? Because not everybody sells it, and it doesn't grow everywhere. But my mom is an East Indian mango lover and a Julie mango girl. And so those are the two that she prefers. I think it's the East Indian. For me, it's too perfumey. It tastes almost artificial with how perfumey it is. I don't know how to explain it. So I don't really like the East Indian mango, but it's very popular. And so those are just the little adjustments that I've had to, you know, adjust to living here. Just understanding that sometimes I'll be able to get stuff and other times I won't. And sometimes I have to order online and sometimes I won't. One of the biggest reasons that I prefer to order a lot of my stuff online is because I realize that these companies are sending inferior product to Jamaica. They're sending inferior product over here, not everywhere, but in a lot of places. And things will stop working on you and you're like, what the hell? And you're thinking, this is brand new. It's not supposed to stop working on me. So I just rather order it directly from Amazon. I know it's gonna work. I purchased Crayola pencil crayons and I'm thinking I'm not gonna buy the off-brand one because I like Crayola. I like Crayola, so that's what I'm gonna buy. That's what I would buy back home, so I'm just gonna buy Crayola. It was as if every pencil was broken, like the actual lead of the pencil was broken in the shaft of the pencil. So every time I would sharpen the pencil to color with it, it would just break off at the tip. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but I was like, how is this possible? And it was every single one in the pack. And that's why I'm like, okay, if they're gonna send inferior product here, I need to just stick to Amazon and wait the week and a half to get my product, because it's better than spending the money on it and it's already marked up in price because it was imported, and then all of a sudden it's not even working properly. Like, that's a waste of money, period. I'd rather pay the import fee my damn self. Speaking of which, as of today, the government has raised the duty from 50 to 100. So now you can spend up to 100 USD without paying like the duties and taxes on it, versus before when you had a $50 threshold that would cause you to have to pay extra for duties and taxes. But this is why people complain and say it's expensive to live here, because almost everything is marked up. And it's not like they're marking it up $2 and $3, baby. They're doubling the price on you. So like, I have gone into toy stores out here, and the stuff that I would buy back home at Walmart for $12, they're selling it for $24 or even $44. Like, they will literally tax the hell out of it. I'm like, it did not cost this damn much to import this. Like, it didn't. Because if I go on Amazon, right, and I purchase the same toy for, I don't know, 14 USD, and I clear it, right, I paid the little fee to collect my package, right, which is another maybe $7, okay? If I pay that, that is way less than going into a store here and purchasing a children's toy for $64 when it's only worth $12 back home. Like, the markups are insane, and so a lot of the times it deters me from purchasing locally, because it's just like, I'm not paying that. I'm coming from foreign, baby. I'm coming from foreign. You're not gonna give me foreign price. This is not even foreign price at this point, because we're not paying that in foreign. So what the hell is this? Like, what is going on? I be mad at the store. I'm like, get me out of here. I don't want nothing to do with this. Get me out of here. And I understand life hard, but baby, it ain't that damn hard for you to be charging me $60 for something that's only $12 Canadian. Like, huh? Like the Barbies is crazy. I'm like, no, I'm gonna just order on Walmart.com. I'm just gonna order it on freaking Amazon, and we just gonna wait the week and a half for it to come because I don't need it next day. In my opinion, I think that they do a pretty good job of the shipping to Jamaica. So I'll talk a little bit about that now since we're talking about prices and stuff. So Jamaica has a lot of different courier services, and depending on where you live, there's gonna be quite a few in your area. So pretty much what you do is you download their app, whatever company you choose to use. The app has like a PO box, but it's not a PO box. They have like a warehouse that you would get your items shipped to in America. They have their little warehouses that they ship to in America. So you get an American address, and then you ship your products to that address with your code. So once you do that, the warehouse in America then puts your stuff on a plane to Jamaica, and then you go to the pickup spot in Jamaica once they tell you your package is ready, and you go pick it up, which is very convenient. So that's how I get all my Amazon stuff here and like Walmart or wherever. That has been really convenient because it allows me to get what I need that I can't get on the actual island, or that I want to get for a reasonable price instead of a marked up price. Like the only time I'm gonna purchase something locally, like that's obviously clearly overpriced, is if I am desperate and need it that day, if it's an emergency. If it's not an emergency, I can wait. And so typically it takes about a week to a week and a half to get it to the actual island. Sometimes even faster than that. It just depends if you have Amazon Prime or if you're ordering from a place where they ship it same day. For instance, I ordered nail polish from this company and they shipped it out the same day that I ordered it. I think it's shipped from like the same city. So once it arrived to the warehouse, you know, they had it booked, ready to go on a flight, and I got it very quickly. Once you get that notification that your parcel is available for pickup, you just go get it. It's made my life super easy, especially around birthdays. You know, we just did Nola's birthday in January. We did Stacey's birthday. My birthday's coming up in 28 days. I haven't ordered anything. Belle's birthday is next month, right? So getting things to the island is very easy, but you must know what you can and cannot import in or ship in, okay? Because I done got myself caught up shipping the wrong damn things, okay? But that's gonna be a story time, so I'm not gonna talk too much about that. I will talk about the customs process. I'm gonna tell you guys that in a story time because that was actually insane what happened. And I was just like, hey, what is happening, okay? Maybe I was over there at the customs office like, can I have my stuff, please? You got to be mindful of what you're shipping in because you cannot just ship any and everything through the mail, okay? They said it's not that kind of party. They said it's not that kind of party. But like I said, I'm gonna talk about that in a whole other video because this video will be way too long if I talk about it now. I honestly feel like no matter where you move to, whether it's a new city or a new country, it's gonna take you some time to learn where you like to shop and which location you like to go to versus where you used to go before. Like when I was in Ottawa and I lived in South Keys, I would always be at the South Keys Plaza because it was close by. But then if I were to go to Costco, I would go to the Hunt Club Costco. And then when I moved to Stittsville, I was no longer going to the Hunt Club Costco unless I wanted something specific that they weren't carrying at the other Costco. When I moved to Stittsville, I clocked that they weren't doing the $4 table the way they were doing it in South Keys. So I would drag my little butt over to South Keys to go to the $4 table at Walmart because they weren't really doing that in Stittsville. I was like, oh, the people in Stittsville got money like that. They're not doing the $4 table. they said this is below us. Oh no, I'm gonna take my little self over to Hunt Club and get my kids the clothes they need because they're not doing it at the Stittsville Walmart, or the selection is not as great. Anywhere you move to is going to be like that. So it just takes some time to, you know, shop around a bit and see where you like. It's just like if you go into the market, you have to know which lady or man you're gonna buy from, because I talked about this in, I think it might have been a members only video, so I'll just briefly share here. If you think for 1 second that you are going to get fair pricing at every single market shop you go to, and you just trying to get you some, I don't know, some bananas, some green bananas, if you think that you're going to get fair pricing, you're not. Because you are not a local. And this is something I really had to, understand. If you're not a Yad Oman, okay? And you come up to them people in the market, some of them, not all of them. If you come up to them people in the market and you say, hi, how much is for your bananas? Baby, the price gonna switch, okay? The price is gonna switch. You cannot go walking up to them and not have no accent. And that's where I'm struggling, okay? Because I don't have the Yad confidence just yet to be speaking Patois in public. Like, what? But baby, I'm gonna learn. I'm about to sit and watch a YouTube video how to learn Patois in 30 minutes. Because I need to not get got at the damn market. But because I've been here for a year now and I know that's how it is, I will argue. And I'm like, nobody with the foreign price, cause my island girl, okay? Don't give me the foreign price. I said, no sir, me live here. me live here, so. Okay, like, you're not gonna give me the foreign price. Absolutely not. And if you do try to give me the foreign price, guess where I'm going? To the next lady that's not gonna give me the foreign price. Because some people will just be honest. Some people are honest and some people are not. And that's just what it is. Jamaica is very much like that. Okay, a jinal is just gonna be a jinal. No matter where you go, okay? Once you kind of learn, the ropes, they can't pull the wool over your eyes, okay? Ain't nobody getting me. But you actually have to be careful, because if you're a foreigner, you are susceptible to becoming a target. They really equate foreign, America, Canada, United Kingdom, with having money. Well, we was broke over there too. We were broke. We've been on welfare. Okay, we was living check to check. Like, we've experienced poverty in Canada. We have. So, people think it's glitz and freaking glam in Canada, and it's not. Like, they don't understand life is hard over there too, because cost of living is much higher, right? Depending. And at this point, I think cost of living is crazy everywhere, okay? I wouldn't even compare Canada and Jamaica, because there's just some aspects of Jamaica that's more expensive than Canada, and there's some aspects of Canada that are more expensive than Jamaica. I don't know why in Canada we have to pay for things that are out of our control, because if you were to ask me, snow tires, winter tires should be free. We do not control the weather. Why are we paying $2,000 for winter tires on our vehicles when it's mandatory? They should be putting the winter tires in every car. You should be getting winter tires with your vehicle. Just put it in the price, please. And don't make me have to buy it separately. Let it come with every car. Because why am I now paying for this? And then I'm paying for snow removal. And I'm paying for this. Guess who's not paying for snow removal no more? Okay? It was $80. It was $80. And God forbid it's snow. We get the snow cleared. And then it's blizzards the next day. And then I have to pay another $80. No, ma'am. That can go right to hell. My driveway was humongous. Humongous. We bought a snowblower. Snowblower was not doing nothing for nobody, okay? It was a waste of money. I think we gave it away. Depending on what you're buying, food as a whole, I would say it's probably cheaper in Canada. But I'll tell you what's not cheaper. This damn electricity bill. Baby, I have learned to adjust to the heat, because I'm not paying that bill. When I first got here, we weren't using the AC that much, but it started getting hot, okay? Because remember, I got here in like March, okay? So there's gonna be these times where it's cooler outside, and so inside the house is cooler, but the houses are made of damn concrete and they absorb the heat, okay? You ever walk on the asphalt and see how hot it is? The houses are concrete, they absorb the heat. So at nighttime, if you touch the wall, baby, it's hot. But there'll be these times, like a few weeks ago, I kept waking up and I'm like, I'm freezing. I'm freezing. I'm wearing sweaters, I'm wearing long pants in the house, like I'm cold, I'm genuinely cold. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it was the perfect opportunity to get my bill down, because when we first arrived, the bill wasn't so high. But after maybe 2 months of living here and running that AC, mind you, the ACs are only in the bedrooms, it's not in the main part of the house. So I was running my AC like I didn't have no damn sense, thinking, oh, my first 2 bills were so low. That third bill came. I said, huh? I said something not right. I called and had the people come out to the house to check the meter. I thought somebody was stealing thieving current. I thought somebody was stealing my current, because that's the thing. The people, the actual impoverished people, they do not pay no electricity. They thief current, and I'm like, I need to be stealing some damn current my damn self, because there's only one company that does the entire electricity in Jamaica, and they have no competition, and they just charge you at the yin yang, okay? And it kind of is like they charge you based on what they think you might use, unless you actually really slow down in using it, because my bill is pretty consistent. You know, I usually am getting a bill for 60,000 Jamaican dollars, sometimes more. My highest bill was in the 70s, and I said, what the hell? And at that point is when I said, okay, well, if they're going to be sending out $70,000 bills every single month, $60,000 bills every single month, I'm going to have to live without the AC. And so I have. My room be getting hot. The other thing is, there's no vents in the bathroom. So, like, so you know how in Canada we have HVAC and we got stuff going through the house. So that's why our bills are also very cheap. In Canada, for a 3,500 square foot house, I was paying $200 max in the summertime for AC. I've never seen a bill over $300 for AC in the summertime. And also in the wintertime with the heat, I had a gas fireplace, I had heat. I had heat blowing through my vents. My bill was never over maybe $245, like never. So when I move here and my bill is 60,000 Jamaican dollars, I'm paying like 500 Canadian dollars for AC and electricity, which is insane, okay? And my house here is much small. It's a fraction of what my house was in Canada. But my hydro bill here is mind-boggling. Girl, it's expensive, okay? It's very expensive to pay for AC if you have it, which, I mean, in Jamaica, I don't see how you can live without it, but I be living without it. Because my last bill that I got, when I stopped using the AC, it was only like $300. I said, the AC is really kicking my butt. I've adjusted. I don't sleep with it on at night. I just run my fan most of the day. I mean, my fan don't turn off. But because there's no ventilation in the houses, you'd get cobwebs, you get dust, you get all these things, plus high ceilings. Like, those are little things that I've had to adjust to. I'm like, oh, I didn't have these cobwebs in Stittsville. I didn't have these cobwebs. I gotta dust. I gotta use my broom and get up in there in the crevices, girl. And so for me, it's just little things like that I've had to adjust to, which is a pretty fair trade-off. Let me tell you, it's a pretty fair trade-off for not having to deal with winter anymore. Okay, I'm not complaining. Okay, $60,000 bill or not, I'd rather that than dealing with the snow and the slush. Even though everybody from Toronto has told me, like, oh my gosh, it's like spring, and I'm like, something is wrong. It's not supposed to be like spring, even though it's April now. Y'all was experiencing spring weather when you were supposed to be having blizzards. So, I mean, prepare for the worst. But if you like it, I love it. And I definitely was not prepared in the least for my electricity bill to ever be that high. 1 out of 10, do not recommend. But out of all the things that I've experienced in Jamaica thus far, that is probably the worst of it. The other thing that I would say that I am super impressed with in Jamaica is the school system. Girl, I am a big fan. I'm a huge fan of the education system here, okay? It's apples and oranges, okay? I understand why the kids in Canada and America are being left behind. I do. They're not doing their job over there in Canada. Probably because there's too many damn public schools and not enough affordable private schools. Because in Jamaica, if you can send your kid to a private school, that's what you do. Otherwise, you know, they end up at the public schools. I'm not going to send my kid to a public school and there's no security or anything like that. So the schooling system is very impressive. When Salem was in Canada and she was in school, in kindergarten, okay, so she was doing her first year in kindergarten in 2022. And when she would go to school, she wouldn't come home with no homework. She wasn't learning anything. She would just come home with just artwork in her bag, artwork in her bag, artwork in her bag, every day, artwork. And I'm just like, girl, what are you learning? Like, what am I sending you to school for? She had no homework. I think on Tuesdays, she would come with a library book. That was that. And also, so much conflict. Salem had a lot of conflict when she was in school in Canada. She was getting in fights. She was getting in trouble. A lot of trouble. She was getting bitten. She got bitten 5 times or 6 times in 5 days, right? And it was just like, huh? Like, it was a lot of issues when she was in public school. But the main issue for me outside of the conflict was the fact that I didn't feel like she was learning anything. Like, I was just like, it was like a glorified daycare. In Canada, when you're registering your kid for school for the first time, you just go online, you put in their information, you register them, the school's like, all right, thanks. Here, it's not like that. There are deadlines, and if you miss them, because it's not online, you gotta like go in person and stuff. Baby, your kid's not going to school, okay? And so we didn't know that, and so the first time that we were registering them, originally I was going to register all 3 of them because they will take Nola at 2 years old. She's 3 now. So she's going in September, but I was originally going to send the 3 of them, but Nola wasn't fully potty trained, and so I decided against sending her. And then shortly after that, I fully potty trained her, and I was like, I wonder if I can send her part-time. But I asked the school and they told me no part-time. So, you know, I just got to send her in September. However, we didn't know how the schooling system worked, and so it was literally like a week before school started, and it was such a blessing that I even got them into the damn school, because I was desperate. Like, actually desperate. It's because I was so focused on sending them to this one particular school. I really wanted them to go to this one school. Because of the deadlines, I couldn't reach anybody. And then when I did reach somebody, they told me they were going to give me a call back, because in order to place your kids, you also have to bring your kids in for like this testing to see, you know, what class they're going to go into. And so this lady's supposed to call me back. She's not calling me back. I'm like, okay, time's running out. I have to get their uniforms. Like, you know, I didn't have to do all this in Canada, baby. One new uniforms. I had to go to the Walmart, get her some new clothes, and that was it. But here, everybody's in a uniform, which I absolutely love. No matter if they're in high school, middle school, you know, elementary school, they wear a uniform. And so there was a lot to prepare for, but this is the week before school starting, or like maybe a week and a half. I call this one school in particular. They're like, okay, come in and blah, blah, blah. So I get them registered for school, Salem and Bell. I forgot to mention, at this time, you also have to bring your kids to do a full medical before you can register them for school. So I had to bring my kids to the doctors. They had to get vaccines. The vaccine schedule for Jamaica is not the same as Canada. It's very different than even America. So they had to get their vaccines. I paid cash for those. Like, there was a lot of steps that I had to do to prepare my kids to go to school in Jamaica. But we got all of it done in the short time frame. So I had to find them a doctor. It was a lot. It was honestly a lot, but totally worth it. So that meant that Belle was going to be in the grade that Salem was in the year before. And so it's 3 days before school is starting, and me and my mom are sewing our butts off. First of all, like I said, we didn't know. We had no idea we were moving to Jamaica. And so obviously once we realized we're moving to Jamaica and we packed the barrels, like there's certain items we left in Canada, certain items we gave away, and then certain items that we just got rid of, period. Sent them to like the thrift stores, the junk. Like, for whatever reason, we packed my mom's sewing machine and her serger. And I didn't know that we were going to be sewing when we got here. This is why I say it's a God thing, because if we didn't pack the sewing machine, we would have had no way to get their uniforms made, because that time of year when people are getting uniforms made at tailors, they're booked up. You know when to go to the tailor maybe a month before school starts, and they have their fabric and they get their uniforms made for their kids. Now, we didn't know nothing about that. We thought you could just go buy a uniform. Baby, no. Everybody just makes them out here every year. So me and my mom end up having to sew these uniforms, and it's 3 days before school. We worked around the clock to make 2 full uniforms, because they need girls wear skirts and pantaloons and button front shirts. So we had to make those items for Belle and Salem, and we did it in 3 days. And again, it was like just everything was just so perfect, and the uniforms turned out so nice, and they were ready for school, and they were excited. Immediately, they started coming home with homework. First of all, that's the other thing. In Canada, when you have homework, your teacher photocopies the pages and gives you the pages from the book. Here, baby, you gotta go out and buy the books for each child. And I got 2 children at the school, and so I had to go buy, I think I paid like $300 Canadian worth of books for the 2 of them. They had Spanish books, English books, reading books, math books, everything. And so Belle and Salem are both coming home with homework in kindergarten, whereas in Canada wasn't no homework. Okay, so I was very like, oh, impressed, very impressed, and very happy with the schooling here. No child gets left behind in Jamaica. In Canada, in America, baby, they get left behind by the boatload. They are getting left behind by the boatload. It's insane. So yes, very, very happy with the school system here. But yeah, aside from that, the only thing is when you are doing a prep or a private school for your kids, obviously that can get expensive depending, because I've spoken to a lot of different parents out here, and depending on what school you send your kid to, you could pay between $50,000 to $100,000 or even more per term per child. It can get expensive, especially if you have multiples. Lots of people only have 1 kid that they have to pay for, but there's other people that have 3 and 4 kids that they have to send to school, and they're making it shake because you want your kid to get a really great education. I didn't realize that there were 3 terms, because in Canada it's only like 2. There's first semester, second semester, right? And also school is free and public, so I wasn't really anticipating that. And so you pay 3 times for the year, so that could be $300,000 for 1 child, or that could be $150,000 for 1 child, or whatever it is, because there's a range. Every school is different, and every school charges a different rate per child. If you go to a school, or if your kids go to a school where, you know, they're mindful of that, they may give you a discount for your multiples, but it's not going to be 50% off now. It's going to be like probably $5,000 off. I don't know, 5,000 Jamaican dollars. It's not going to be no crazy discount, but I'm about to have to pay for 3 kids to go to school come September. Am I looking forward to spending that money? Absolutely not. But that is just the way that it is. And you know what? The quality of education, I think it's worth it. I do. I hate letting go off of money. I do. But if it's for a good cause, I mean, why not? Mother is working a job, baby. I'm working a job and getting these kids schooling paid for. So shout out to y'all, okay? Because obviously, you know, y'all help me a lot. Y'all are helping me get my kiddies through school. Love y'all for life, okay? Never would have made it. I'm telling you, okay? Girl. Never would have made it. Y'all know I just washed my hair, so I am not about to give you guys no crazy hairstyle today. Okay, I'm not putting no product in it. The breaks and holidays that they get here in Jamaica for school, like to be off school, is not the same as Canada, because there are times like now where my kids are on what you would deem as March break, but March is over, baby. Okay, March break usually happens between the 2nd and the 3rd week of March. They don't get March break, they get Easter break. So my kids don't go back to school till April. Well, it's April now, but they don't go back to school till next week. And like, baby, I was not prepared for that. Lucky for me, I spent so much damn money at the damn Price Mart between last year and this year that I had a rebate, and I took my rebate and I bought me a trampoline. Okay, the way I was not prepared for my kids to be home this week and a little bit of last week is crazy. And so there's no school for any of the kids on the island right now, as far as I know. Everybody's off, and when they go back, I'm gonna owe some money because tuition is due. One thing that for sure was a big change, and and a little confusing for me at first, and I had to just suck it up and understand that this is just the way that it works, is that certain things, like opening a bank account, for instance, is not just walking to the bank, open a bank account. It's not that simple like it is in America and Canada. In Canada, I can go into any bank at any time, say, here's my ID, here's my SIN number, and open a bank account. Here, it is not like that. You need this, that, and this. You gotta get a signed documentation from a JP, like a Justice of the Peace, like, to open a bank account. I just want to put my money somewhere. So little things like that were like a culture shock, I guess, for me, because it's just like, baby, I don't have to do any of this back home or back in Canada. But once you go through that process the first time, you're not going to complain about it the second time, because you already know the ways of the land, right? You know how it works, so it is what it is. I would definitely say Jamaica has an administration problem. No matter where you go, there's a long line and a long wait. So a lot of times you just be like, I'm gonna go first thing in the morning and make sure I get my stuff out of the way. If I need to go to the bank, it's first thing in the morning, or I'm not going. But they don't make certain things easy for you here the way that they're easy in Canada, okay? And then things like water. So I'm on an island. I'm not thinking anything gonna be wrong with the water. But I don't drink the tap water, never have. I purchase water, whereas in Canada, I had a refrigerator that was hooked up to the water system. Here, I would never do that, right? And so I purchased water, and the best way to go about that, some people do get their bottles refilled, but I don't refill my bottles. I buy new bottles every time. I ended up buying a water machine. So like, you know, one that you would see in an office that has like the boiling water, the room temperature water, and the ice cold water. So I bought one of those, and I buy the big ginormous jugs that people store money in. I buy those jugs of water, and that's how we drink water out here. I do not drink tap water at all. I have filters on my water system for bathing and like washing my hair, and it's definitely, we added a second filter, and that has made a big change, because when we were just using one filter, the water was so hard that it was turning my kettle white. And we've never seen that before. Like, the kettle was white, okay? So we had to add a second filter to the water. But not only that, we also have a backup water system, which you will see that at almost every house. You'll see this big black tank that stores water from the road, so that when if your water pressure is low in the house, or for whatever reason the water stops, you can flick the switch on and get an outside source of water, because you pay for water, right, through the National Water Commission, but then on top of that you can access the water coming from I guess the road girl, I don't even know where the water's coming from. The natural resource of water is available. And so I have a drum that collects water, because we notice every weekend the water pressure gets really low because everybody's home using the water, whereas during the week it's not like that. So a lot of the time we have to flick the switch on the weekend so that we can use both sources of water, because the pressure is just too low. And it's like, how am I supposed to bathe with this? I can't wash my booty crack with this limited water supply. So it's nice to have the water pump and drum out in the back. Living here has definitely shown me, oh, there's a lot of things that we take for granted back home. You don't even realize you're taking it for granted. Water is definitely one of them, or access to water. The other thing that came as a surprise to us when we were first moving was that when you're renting, typically your house doesn't come with appliances, which is crazy, because when you rent in Canada, you get 5 appliances typically. Okay, you'll get a stove. You might, these days you get a dishwasher too. You get a refrigerator, and you're gonna get washer dryer if you're renting a house, right? Here, no ma'am. So I had to purchase those items literally the day I got to the island in 2023. I went out and I bought all my appliances. So I own my fridge, I own my gas stove, I own my water machine, I own my washing machine. My washing machine doubles as a dryer, but we don't really use the dryer setting on it because it's silly. We just hang stuff on the line outside. And so, you know, I think a dryer would probably send the bill up a little bit, the electricity bill, which is already very high. So I haven't really been opting to get a dryer, but I know my mom definitely wants to have a dryer because if it rains, you already know things is not going to get dry. Okay, they're going to get wet. You hang them on the line, you forget to take them off the line, and then your stuff is wet all over again. It's just crazy. So those were things that I definitely had to adjust to and understand, you know, that's just what it is. Outside of that, though, I'm still kind of learning how things work, but I would say I'm adjusted. My kids are adjusted. My mom's obviously adjusted. She's in her element, girl. Okay, as long as there's sugar cane available, as long as there's no sugar cane drought and coconut drought, my mom's gonna be fine. But she's been dying without her mangoes. For the most part, it's been really, really nice, and I can't believe it's been a year. Oh my god, like that year really flew by. Like it flew by. But yeah, I would say that it's been great. I haven't really had any like horrible experiences, but I've still had to adjust quite a bit because it's just new territory for me, right? And new territory for my kids and my mom. You know, my mom was in Canada for over 50 years. Like, she is not really a Jamaican. As much as she's born here, she's as Jamaican as I am, okay? We're not real yachties, okay? We're just not. And so we have to figure it out. I think after living here for like 2 more years, I think, you know, I'll be officially like, you know, an island girl. In my head, I've definitely moved on from Canada. You know, I live like an island person. I live like a yacht gal. But I think there's other things that are still just gonna take time for me to adjust to. But I'm happier here than I ever was there. So I have no regrets leaving Canada. I would do it 10 times over. I would do it again and again and again and again. You cannot get me off this island, okay? One thing about Jamaica, whether you're visiting or moving here, if you have family here, when you come to Jamaica, you do not want to leave. That's just period. You don't want to leave. And so next thing you know, you marrying a Jamaican. You marrying a Jamaican to get your citizenship. Okay, that's just what it be like. There's so many people that come here that just decide they're not going home, you know, and they're not even Jamaican. I'm talking like Indian people, Chinese people. That's why they all have these shops here, because they didn't want to go home. They came here, they saw the island and said, oh, I'm gonna open up a little store here. And they did, and they ain't never been back home. They got their citizenship. They here. They out here, okay? They're one of us. So a lot of people do that. Me, I'm Jamaican by blood, okay? I came from a Jamaican nutsack. So, baby, you know, it is what it is. I think one of the things that makes me the happiest here is the food. Obviously, y'all know I love to eat, okay, tourist gang? I love to eat. And one thing I love about Jamaica is being able to literally get Jamaican food that tastes good. Okay, not Jamaican food from Toronto, not Jamaican food from Ottawa's the worst. Jamaican food from Jamaica. And it just hits different. I'm sorry, it does. I can go into any restaurant and any given day and order me escabeche fish and I'm happy. I can go and get me jerk chicken. I can go and get me rice and peas. I can go and get me some curry if I want. Now, granted, we cook most of our food, right? Like, but like the food in Jamaica is just next level. The Chinese food here, cooked by black people, of course. Sometimes I haven't been to a Chinese restaurant where Chinese people are cooking the food, but the Chinese food, the Jamaican food, I mean, top tier. Like, I have no complaints about the food at all. I love that I don't have to smell up my house with fish if I want fish. I just go buy it, you know. But yeah, we cook a lot here. You know, we make a lot of curry, and my mom just made gunga pea soup last night, and oh god, it was good. So we're constantly making food. We cook our own food all the time, and that's how it was back home too. I eat home cooked food a lot. I'm not one of those people that eat out a lot or order HelloFresh. Okay, I'm not one of those girls. That's not me. Okay, that's not my brand. That's not my ministry. I like home cooked food, and I love that I can get home cooked food from the local restaurants here. That's one of the greatest parts about living here, because Jamaican food is like my favorite food outside of, listen, Jamaicans got it down. Italians, baby, ooh, y'all got it down. Chinese or Asian cuisine, period. Asian cuisine, those are the top 3 right there. Mexican, girl, those are the top cuisines in my opinion, okay? Now there's so many different types of Asian cuisines, but like, oh, Thai food, baby, ooh, listen. And majority of those things you can get here. I prefer tacos at home, so you know, I'm gonna stick to making my Mexican food the way I want to make it. But outside of that, you can get mostly anything. So I love getting food from the road. I love trying new spots, and I also love to eat at home. Now if my mom don't want to cook and I'm craving something, I can just get it up the road. Now there's certain things that I'm not going to order from a restaurant no matter where I am in the world, like oxtail, baby. If my mom's not cooking it, or my auntie or my uncle, baby, I don't want it. So don't offer me your oxtail, because you can't make it, okay? You can't make it. I don't want your oxtail. I'm going to eat my family's oxtail, and that's about it. I'm not going to go to no restaurant that's selling pressure cooker oxtail. I don't want it. It's disgusting. Anyway, let me not drag. That's pretty much it, I think. I didn't really talk about like getting around. Getting around has been easy. Jamaica is very much a place where you have to like meet people and like feel them out and see if they're going to be a good fit for you. Getting around has been easy, but I'm still very much about to get me a car, because I think that would be even easier. I think it would be even easier to drive myself around and, you know, be able to go do my errands when I want to do my errands, and you know, not have to call a taxi all the time. I've had a few different experiences with different kinds of people, and I attract familiar spirits, so I have to be mindful of that, and I always have to use my discernment when I am, you know, meeting new people or talking to new people or befriending people, or you know, trying to hire people for a certain job. I have to always have my guard up and pray about certain things. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been quite the experience, but I've been loving it so far, and I can't wait to give you guys, you know, another update on this experience. I definitely don't get to go out as much as I thought I would, like in terms of like going to the beach and stuff, because my kids are in school, so I can't just pick up and go to the beach with me, my mom, and Nola, and then, you know, Salem and Bella are at school. So, you know, beach activities I do reserve for the weekend, or like any kind of water activity, I try to reserve it for the weekend, but sometimes we're just so busy we don't get to go. I definitely need to get to the beach more, because my tan be fading quick because I'm always in the house. But like, I don't know why I thought I was gonna be able to do more exploration and more vlogs. Because of the algorithm, that type of content necessarily wouldn't work on my channel. My channel is not that type of channel, but I still want to get it done. I do, child. You know, this channel's always been all over the place. My channel is very much a one-stop shop, okay? you get everything on this channel, whether it's food or freaking vlogs or celebrity stuff or hair and makeup. Girl, you get everything on my channel, and that's what it's always just been. And so I have like little markets for everybody. But outside of that, baby, that's pretty much it. I love Jamaica, and that's it. I love Jamaica. Jamaica's it. Like, I don't care what anybody says about Jamaica. I don't care about no damn travel advisory, baby. What? I don't care about none of that. I don't care about anything of the sort. Jamaica is definitely my happy place, and I would have never have guessed that after my 9-year-old experience here. I would never think that Jamaica would become my happy place. And lastly, I guess because every day I wake up and I give thanks to God for my life in general, but like just being here in Jamaica and my experience as a whole, like I wake up every day so grateful, so thankful, and I'm always constantly talking to God about that, whether it's first thing in the morning, whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning, whether it's right before I go to bed. But it's a daily thing where I'm always like, oh my God, thank you, God. Like me and my mom were just in the kitchen earlier just praising God for this entire experience. And my first year here has just been so wonderful, and the transition from Canada to Jamaica was just so seamless and perfectly divinely written. And so I can't end this video without publicly declaring the Lord Jesus as my personal savior. My Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, okay? Like, literally, like, my life has been in his hands for so long, and I am just living my life so abundantly, and it's because of him. And I could not end this video without saying this, because honestly, if it was not for him, I don't know where I would be. And that's on period. And I get it. Some people don't get it. They're like, I don't understand what this faith business is. Well, go pray about it, girl, because I can't explain to you what my relationship is with God. But all I know is that he has written out my life for me, you know, from before I was even a thought, okay? And I'm just so grateful that he's blessed me to be in this position. And I guess because I'm always constantly thanking him in person and in private, you know, and like when I'm always in prayer, that it didn't even cross my mind to say that much in the video, even though in the beginning of the video I did say like it was definitely a God thing, this move. I never really praised him or gave him thanks, and so I just had to make sure I say this before this video closes out. To God be the glory. Great things he had done, period. Okay? Yeah, shout out to Jamaica one time. Shout out to my parents for being Jamaican. Because why would you want to be anything but Jamaican? Why? Caribbean people don't come for me. Shout out to all the Trinidadians and the Guyanese people. Well, like, everybody knows Jamaica, and we run things, okay? Things don't run we. Anyway, I love you all so much. If you guys have any questions about Jamaica, just leave them in the comment section below, and I'll be back with a follow-up video very soon. I love you all so much, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.